Welcome to AI Sports Predictor. It's not us here, back at it like an old legend stirring the pot. Tonight, we're talking ice, Boston Bruins on a back-to-back facing the New York Rangers at the Garden. The energy of a cold Madison Square showdown makes you feel like you're on the set of some noir thriller. Doesn't it? Let's start with Boston. 26-22-6. On paper, not terrible, but under the hood, it's like driving a flashy car with a misfiring engine. Boston's been chasing goals like a gambler chasing his losses. 2 or fewer in 4 of their last 6 games. Ranked 25th in goals per game. That's like bringing a knife to a gunfight, dangerous and probably deadly. But wait. There's David Pastrnak, 65 points leading the way. The man's a sniper, but even the sharpest bullet can't do much when you're outnumbered. The defense? Oh, it's like trying to patch a leaky boat in the middle of the ocean. Jeremy Swayman, 17-4 with a 3.03 GAA, keeps looking like the man trying to hold back a flood with duct tape and prayers. Now let's pivot to the Rangers. 25-23-4 and fresh off snapping a 3-game losing streak. There's something dangerous about a team just waking up. They're hungry. Zibanejad and Panarin were maestros against Vegas, orchestrating chaos. Jonathan Quick stopped 34 of 36 shots. When the chips are down, experience can be the deadliest weapon. Offensively? 4 or more goals in 6 of their last 9 games. This team doesn't just want to win, they want to tear down anyone in their way. But the defense? It's like wet tissue paper, fragile and barely holding. Shesterkin's struggling at 2.89 GAA, and even Quick's numbers suggest he's fighting fires rather than preventing them. And yet, chaos breeds glory. There's beauty in the madness of a team like New York. They'll either rise to glory or burn in spectacular fashion. The question isn't whether they'll fight. It's whether Boston has enough fight left to counter. And today's AI pick is the Boston Bruins on the money line. Yeah, I know you didn't see that coming, and that's the beauty of it. The underdog isn't just here to survive. They're here to rewrite the story. Now, don't be too comfortable. This is hockey. After all, where fate shifts faster than a puck on clean ice. Stay tuned, and keep your breath held, this one's far from over. On to Game 2.
Game 2, and this time we're heading to the Windy City Edmonton Oilers versus the Chicago Blackhawks. 2 teams at opposite ends of the spectrum, like a rich guy and a broke gambler sitting at the same poker table. The Oilers are high-rolling their way through the season, Stanley Cup dreams in their eyes, while the Blackhawks, they're rebuilding. Again. Let's start with Edmonton. 32-16-4, a record that makes you sit up straight. They're 14-7-2 away from home, and despite Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard rocking save percentages that feel more like a dice roll. 902 and 0.90, they've cracked the top 10 in goals against average. Why? Defense. Solid pairings up and down the blue line, grinding out the tough plays. And the offense. Oh, it's not just a one-man show, even though Leon Draisaitl's name is on everyone's lips. Evan Bouchard and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins have racked up 7-3 combined points. This isn't just a team, it's a machine. But machines can malfunction. Take that loss to the Maple Leafs. Skinner gave up 4 goals on 28 shots. It's the kind of off night that could haunt you, but good teams bounce back. Edmonton knows that, and they'll be walking into Chicago with a mission to prove. Now, let's talk about the Blackhawks. 16-31-6, yeah, it's a rough ride. Dead last in the Central Division, second last in the NHL. Their home record? 10-14-2 offensively. They're managing just 2.58 goals a game. That's 30th in the league. It's like trying to win a race on a flat tire. Defensively, they're giving up 3.42 a night. You do the math, it's not adding up to success. But then there's Connor Bedard. The one bright light in a dark tunnel. 4 to 5 points in 52 games. He's young, he's hungry, and he's carrying the team on his back. Unfortunately, the veterans around him aren't pulling their weight, with only 2 cracking 30 points. Last time out, they got dominated 5-1 by the Florida Panthers. Slaggert scored their only goal, and Mrazek gave up 5 on 44 shots. Painful, sure, but even pain can breed resilience. The experts say Edmonton should cruise to victory. A 7-1 record in their last 8 meetings against Chicago, including a 4-0 record in Chicago itself. But you know what? This is hockey where logic and fate don't always see eye to eye. And today's AI pick is Chicago Blackhawks 1.5. That's right. I am rolling with the underdog, the long shot, the wild card. Because sometimes, the most beautiful victories come from unexpected places. Let's see if Bedard and company can pull off a surprise of their own. On to Game 3.
Game 3, and we're heading to LA, Montreal Canadiens versus the Los Angeles Kings. Crypto.com arena will be buzzing. And the question is simple. Can the Canadiens defy the odds, or will the Kings cruise to another victory and bury them like the rest? Let's set the stage. Montreal's 2-4, 2-3-5, stumbling through a 5-game skid like a boxer on shaky legs. They've been shooting blanks lately, just 19 shots against Minnesota and 23 against Anaheim where they blew a 2-goal lead. Their power play's been as quiet as a late-night diner. 5 opportunities in the last 3 games. That's a team with a busted engine under the hood. And yet, here's the twist. Jacob Dobes will be in net. Yeah, he's a rookie. Just 7 starts. But you know what else? He's 5-1-1 with a 2.10 GAA and a 927 save percentage. That's the kind of underdog energy you want to bet on. The rookie doesn't know the fear yet. He's just out there fighting, like a kid on the street corner scrapping for glory. And sometimes, that's exactly the spark you need. On the flip side, you've got the Kings. 2-7-1-7-6. Sure, they snapped a 4-game slide by beating Carolina, but let's not act like that solves all their problems. They've only won 3 of their last 11 games, and offensively, they're barely getting by with 2.78 goals per game. Which ranks 23rd in the league. Kuimpa's a wall in net, but walls have been known to crack when they're hit with enough desperation. The experts think the Kings will cover the puck line, but I'm not buying it. Montreal's got nothing to lose. And those are the most dangerous teams to face. Give me the Canadiens to cover plus 1.5. And now, the recap. Game 1. Boston Bruins on the Moneyline, an underdog with something to prove. Game 2. Chicago Blackhawks plus 1.5. Because every story deserves a twist. And here in Game 3, we're riding with the Montreal Canadiens plus 1.5, because sometimes the scrappy underdog doesn't just hang around. They bite back. Stay sharp, my friends, because the ice is full of surprises. See you next time.